ma'am. So hello friends, welcome back to our channel Adamya Education. So we are meeting after quite a long time. We have completed a few year questions from various subjects, and we are going to get back to the thing that we were doing initially. We were doing heights and distances, and we have completed one lecture related to that. Today we are going to do the second lecture related to the same topic, and today we are going to learn about the angle of depression, and we will also have some questions which have the angle of elevation as well as the angle of depression together. Okay, so let's begin. So our first question is, an observer on the top of a cliff 200 meter above the sea level observes the angle of depression of two ships at anchor to be 45 degree and 30 degree. At anchor means they are at that position, they are stationary, they are not moving. Okay, find the distance between the ships if they are on the same side of the cliff and if they are on the different sides of the cliff. Okay, very easy question. Over here we have to consider the angle of depression. Let me tell you all that whenever you will have to understand the concept of angle of depression, always consider angle of elevation, and accordingly you have to make the diagram. If you start with the angle of depression, it will be a little tough. Okay, so always begin with thinking about angle of elevation. Like I told you before also, let me just give you a quick recap of the same. If a person from this position is seeing another object at this position, the angle of elevation is, just imagine, 30 degree. For a person who is standing here, for that person angle of depression will also be 30 degree from that position. That means this will be 30 degree. So why do we have to consider the angle of depression when we can just consider a person standing at the lower surface? Okay, so let us do the questions, you will eventually understand. Alright, so let us first make the cliff and the ships for the first question. So this is the cliff, which is 200 meter high, and from the top an observer can see two ships at an angles of 45 degree and 30 degree respectively. So let us make the structure. So the person is standing here, and like I told you, we have to consider it from the lower surface. So this will be 30 degree and this will be 45 degree. Like I told you before also that for an object which is away from the point of observation, the angle will be lower as compared to the object which is closer to the point of observation. So the farther ship will be at an angle of will be seen at an angle of 30 degree, and the ship which is close, that will be observed at an angle of 45 degree. So let my ships be PQ and let my cliff be AB. So now, since angle of depression has been said, let us also try to understand the same figure on the basis of angle of depression. That means if we draw a straight line which is parallel to our surface which we are considering, 45 degree will be this particular angle. This entire thing will be 45 degree by using parallel lines property, and this angle will be 30 degree. So basically a person who was standing at point A, he observes the angle of depression as such, but if we consider two more persons who are standing at P and Q respectively, their angle of elevation will be 30 degree and 45 degree respectively. So this is what you have to use. Never start from the top position, always begin from the base. I hope it is clear. So this is the diagram that you have to make, and now let us move on to the question. Now our question is, we have to find the distance between the two ships. That means we have to find the value of PQ. Now since the drawing is done, now we can easily calculate it like we have done in the previous lecture. So first of all, we are going to consider one triangle and then the other triangle. So in triangle AQB, you have tan 45 degree is equal to height by base, that means AB by QB. So tan 45 degree is 1. So 1 is equal to, your AB is given as 200 meter. So from this relation you are getting QB is equal to 200 meter. The value of QB is equal to 200. Alright. Now we are going to do the same thing for the triangle ABP. So in triangle ABP, our tan has a value 30 degree. So tan 30 degree will be equal to AB by PB. AB by PB. Okay, so our AB is 200 and tan 30 degree is 1 by root 3. So 200 divided by PB So PB is 200 root 3 meter. Again I'm saying don't multiply it, leave it like it is, because we can make it a little more easier, we can simplify it. So we have got the value of PB as 200 root 3 and we have got the value of QB as 200. So we have to find the value of PQ. So PQ will be equal to PB minus QB. Yes, PB minus QB. So our PB is 200 root 3 minus our QB is 200. So if we take 200 as common from here, we are getting root 3 minus 1. That is 200 into 1.732 minus 1, which will give you 200 into 0.732. As a result, if you multiply it, your final answer comes up to 146.4 meter. This is the final answer for the first part of the question. Okay, where you have to find the distance between the two ships when they are on the same side of the cliff. So I hope this question is clear to you. Now we will move on to the second part of the question where the ships are on the two different sides of the cliff. So let me change the diagram. Okay, so now this is my cliff which is 200 meter high, and on one side I have to take 30 degree as the angle of depression and on one side I have to take 45 degree. It is your choice in whichever direction you want to take, it won't matter in this case. Okay, so I'm taking my 30 degree on this side. That means from this point, from point P, the angle of elevation of point A will be 30 degree, or you can say that from A, the angle of depression of point P will be 30 degree, the same thing. Okay, and on the other side, this is my other ship Q. So now the angle of depression will be 45 degree if we consider from A, or the angle of elevation will be 45 degree if we consider from Q. So this is the diagram. Okay, so the two triangles are in two different directions. So now we have to find the value of PQ, that means the distance between the two ships. Okay, so let us do it. Again we are going to find out the values for each triangle separately. So in triangle AQB, you are going to get, like in the previous case, we got tan 45 degree is equal to AB by QB, that means 200 by QB. So we are going to get whatever we got previously. Okay, so we are getting QB as 200, and in the previous case we got PB as 200 root 3. So here also we are going to get 200 root 3. I'm not writing it again because we just did the calculation. So now we have to find QP, that means QB plus BP, the total distance, right? So PQ or QP is equal to 200 plus 200 root 3. That means we can take 200 as common and you are left with 1 plus root 3 means 1.732. That means if you solve it, you are going to get the answer as 546.4 meter. So in this case, the distance between the two ships is 546.4 meter. I hope this question is clear. A very easy question, and it can alone fetch you 4 marks if it comes in the examination. 2 marks for each part of the question. Alright then, let's move on to the next question now. A vertical pole and a vertical tower are on the same level ground. From the top of the pole, the angle of elevation of the top of the tower is 60 degree and the angle of depression of the foot of the tower is 30 degree. Find the height of the tower if the height of the pole is 20 meter. Okay, so now as you can see in the question, you have angle of elevation and angle of depression together. So don't get worried, don't freak out. We are going to solve it very easily. So first of all, let us see what is the first line of the question. A vertical pole and a vertical tower are on the same level ground. That means if we consider this as our ground, we have a vertical pole and we have a vertical tower. Okay, so now you might ask why I have made the pole to be smaller than the tower. We can change it later. Okay, it is just a rough and raw diagram. I am not assuming anything as such. Let us continue reading the question and then we can see which one is larger and which one is smaller. Okay, So the left hand side structure is my pole, and the right hand side is the tower. Okay. Hello AS, welcome to the stream. All right. So from the top of this pole, so let me consider this as the pole initially. AB is my pole and PQ is the tower. Okay. So from the top of the pole, the angle of elevation of the top of the tower is 60 degree. Okay. So the structure will be somewhat like this. From the top of the tower, that means from point A, the angle of elevation of the top of the tower is how much? 60 degree. So if I make another straight line here in order to make the angle, this will be 60 degree. So from the top of the pole, the angle of elevation of the top of the tower, that is 60 degree. I hope the diagram is clear. And what has been said, and the angle of depression of the foot of the tower. So Q is the foot of the tower. So from this position, that means from point A, the angle of depression of the foot of the tower, that means if we draw a line like this, this will be the angle of elevation for the person who is standing at Q. A person who is standing at the foot of the tower, if he views the top of the pole, he will see an angle of elevation of 30 degree. That means from point A, the angle of depression will be 30 degree. So like I told you, don't consider depression first, consider elevation first. Okay, so this is 30 degree. I hope the question is, I hope the diagram is clear to you all. Okay, so our diagram is correct because from the top of the pole, we are seeing the top of the tower and also the bottom of the tower. That means the tower is of a larger height, isn't it? Otherwise, the diagram wouldn't be correct. Now your question is, find the height of the tower. If the height of the pole is 20 meter, the height of the pole is given, this is 20. Okay, AB is 20. You have to find the value of PQ. The height of the tower you have to calculate. Okay, let me erase the useless things and let us solve it then. Okay. One thing you can observe from the figure very nicely. Okay, first let me name this. Let me name it as C. Okay, you can see that ACQB, it is a rectangle. From the figure only it is quite clear. You don't have to write any reason for that. You can directly write from the figure ACQB is a rectangle. As a result, if AB is 20 meter in length, that means CQ will also be 20 meter, isn't it? Okay, and according to the figure only, we can directly say that BQ and AC will also be equal in length, right? So first of all, let us do one thing. Let us find out the value of BC. Okay, because since we don't BQ, because if we don't have BQ, we cannot find the value of AC, and if we don't have AC, we can do nothing related to the triangle APC, because we just have 60 degree, we don't have PC, we don't have AC. How will we calculate something? So first of all, let us find out BQ and then let us proceed accordingly. Okay, so in triangle ABQ, you have tan 30 degree is equal to AB by BQ, height by base. So your tan 30 degree is 1 by root 3. The value of AB is 20 and the value of BQ you don't know. So from here, the value of BQ is 20 root 3. Okay, so we are getting 20 root 3 as our value for BQ. So let me write it down using a different color. 20 root 3. As a result, our AC will also be 20 root 3. Isn't it? This much I guess it is clear to you. Okay. Now, for the triangle APC, let us consider triangle APC now. Okay, in triangle APC, we have tan 60 degree is equal to PC by AC, height by base, PC by AC. So our tan 60 degree has a value of root 3. The value of PC is not known to us, but we have the value of AC. Let us put it. So PC divided by AC was 20 root 3. So what will be the value of PC? PC is equal to 20 into root 3 into root 3. That means 20 into 3, that is 60. Right? 60 is the value of PC, 60. Our question is, we have to find the value of the length of the tower. So the length of the tower is PQ. PC is given as PC has been found out as 60 and QC was already given to us as 20. So what will be the answer? PQ will be equal to 60 plus 20, that means 80 meter. See, so simple. As soon as you make the diagram, you have to do nothing else. You just have to calculate it using the diagram. Many people freak out because in heights and distances they think that you have to do a lot of calculations. You have to divide by decimals, you have to find out the square root of numbers, but no, you don't have to. You see, I am not using a single value of doing rough except for addition and all. That you can already do by using mental maths, because all the square roots are either getting cancelled out or they are either getting rationalized. So it becomes very easy to solve such questions. So I hope this question is also clear to you. It was a very simple and easy one. Let us move on to the next question now. Okay. As observed from the top of a 150-meter tall lighthouse, the angles of depression of two ships approaching it are 30 degree and 45 degree. If one ship is directly behind the other, find the distance between the two ships. So it is a similar question which we just did, the first question which we did. So let us do it once again, because people who have faced a little bit, people who are having a little bit doubt, they can also make their mind completely clear. Okay, so let us do it. So let us make a lighthouse first of all. This has a height of 150 meter. So the angle of depression of two ships, like I told you, we will not consider angle of depression, we will rather consider angle of elevation. So from the top of the tower, from the top of the lighthouse, the angle of depression will be converted to angle of elevation from the bottom. So this is ship P, this is ship Q. Since ship Q is at a larger distance from the lighthouse, it will have an angle of elevation as 30 degree and this one will be 45 degree. So in order to just make it a question related to angle of depression, we are going to draw a straight line which is parallel to our base and then write down the angles accordingly. Even if you don't write, don't worry, you won't lose marks because your diagram is correct. Okay, so this is your figure. Alright, so now what we have to do, we have to find the distance between the two ships. That means we have to find QP. So what we will do first, we will consider triangle APB. In triangle APB, so we have tan 45 degree is equal to AB by PB. That means 1 is equal to AB is 150, PB we don't know. So we are getting the value of PB as 150 meter. Okay, similarly if we find out the value of QB will be equal to 150 root 3 meter. Okay, I'm not showing the calculation because we have just done such a question. So if you want, you can just go back and see how we have done it and then you'll understand this question also. So we have to find the value of QP. So QP will be equal to QB minus PB. That means 150 root 3 minus 150. So if you solve it, if you take 150 common, you are going to get root 3 minus 1 inside, and if you solve it, you are going to get 109.8 meter. The only thing that you have to do in such a question is that you have to multiply 150 with the subtraction here. That's all, nothing else. So it's very simple. Initially when I was of your age, I started doing this multiplication 150 into root 3 and the answer used to get so complicated that at the end of the question my answer was always wrong. So then after growing up, when we realized that there are easier tricks, because nobody used to tell us all this when we were in school. Okay, so it's easier when you follow these small tricks. These are not even tricks, these are things to simplify, to make the entire problem solving approach a little more easier and better. So you can follow it and you will not just gain a lot of marks because your mistakes will be minimized. You will also be able to help reduce the time which you require for one single question. And you know, time is so very important during your board examinations. Alright, then let us move on to the next question now. The angle of elevation of a stationary cloud from a point 25 meter above a lake is 30 degree and the angle of depression of its reflection in the lake is 60 degree. Okay, what is the height of the cloud above the sea level? Okay, this is a very interesting question. Let us do this. Okay, we have another question. Okay, So let us make the diagram first. So the angle of elevation of a stationary cloud above a lake. So let me make a lake first of all. So this is my lake. Alright. So the angle of elevation of a stationary cloud from a point 25 meter above the lake. So there is a point which is at a height of 25 meter above the lake, and from that point we are observing the angle of elevation of a stationary cloud. So just imagine this is the cloud C. So from this point, let me name it as AB, and let me make a straight line which is parallel to the lake surface. So this is my angle of elevation. This is 30 degree. Okay, and this is my stationary cloud. C is the stationary cloud. And what has been said, from that point itself, the angle of depression of its reflection in the lake. So let me consider this to be the reflection. Okay, D. So from that point only the angle of depression. So in this case we can do one more thing. We can just extend this line in order to join it, and this, the angle of elevation from point D can be considered to be 60 degree. Because if you are observing something A which is downwards, the same angle of elevation will be observed by someone or something which is at that particular point when he or she is looking up. We have to just assume this small thing, okay? Although it is not possible for a person to sit inside water and observe things like this, but we are just going to assume, okay? So accordingly this is 60 degree. Okay, and now if we can easily join C and D by using a straight line, and let me name these parts. This is E, this is F. Okay, so now what is your question? What is the height of the cloud above the sea level? Sorry, above the lake level. That means you have to find out the value of CF. CF is the value that you have to calculate. Height of the cloud which is above the sea level. Okay, so let us do it. It's a very simple one. Okay. One more thing you will observe, that in case of reflection, you have studied in physics that the distance of the mirror from the object and the distance of the mirror from the image is same. That means in this case our object is the cloud at C and our image is the reflection at D. That means, and the lake, the surface of the lake is our mirror. That means CF and FD, they are equal in length, right? So CF is equal to FD. So we don't know whether it will be required, but we can use it, okay, later on if required. So I'm just writing it down here. So let me erase these things. Okay, so now let's move on to the question. We have to find the value of CF. How do we do it? First of all, let us consider each triangle and let us try to find certain values. So let us consider triangle ACE first. Triangle ACE. So over here we have tan 30 degree is equal to, also one more thing I forgot to mention, that you can see in the figure that ABFE, it is a rectangle once again. That means if AB is 25, EF will also be 25, right? Okay, so I guess this much is clear to you. And from here you can do one thing. If you are taking CF to be X, okay, you are taking CF to be X, that means your FD will also be X from this relation. So what will be the value of CE? CF is X, EF is 25. So what will be the value of CE? CE will be H minus 25, right? Yes. And what will be the value of DE? This entire DE. So DF is X and EF is 25. So DE will be H plus 25. From the figure it is clear. Okay, I hope this much is clear. Let me write these things for you, otherwise you'll get confused. CE is, I'm writing it here, CE is H minus 25 and DE, yes, DE, it is H plus 25. Okay, so let us solve. So tan 30 degree will be equal to, let me erase these things, otherwise you might get confused. Lots and lots of lines. Okay. So CE by AE. Tan 30 degree is equal to CE by AE. So tan 30 degree is 1 by root 3. So CE is H minus 25 and AE we don't know. So we are just getting an expression for AE. So root 3 into H minus 25 is the value of AE, is the expression for the length of AE. Okay, so if AE is root 3 into H minus 25, that means BF will also be equal to the same thing, because it is a rectangle, and hence we can say that their opposite sides are equal. Okay, now let us consider the triangle AED. Okay, let me use a different color. Triangle AED. Okay, in triangle AED, what do we see? Tan 60 degree is equal to height by base, that means DE by EA. DE by EA. So tan 60 degree is root 3. The value of DE is H plus 25 and EA is, we have root 3 into H minus 25. Let us keep it as it is. Okay, let us not solve it right now. There is a reason for that, because let us see. So EA will be equal to H plus 25 by root 3. Okay, I hope this much is clear. AE is root 3 into H minus 25 and EA is equal to H plus 25 by root 3. That means in both the cases we have EA or AE on the left hand side. That means the right hand side will be equal. It can be equated accordingly. This is the reason I did not ask you to put the value as such. We would get the same result, but still it would be a little more confusing. So from, if we consider this as equation 1 and this as equation 2, in both the equations on the left hand side we have the same quantity, so the right side can be equated. That means we have, let me write it here, root 3 into H minus 25 is equal to H plus 25 by root 3. Okay, so let us solve it. 3 into H minus 25 is equal to H plus 25. If I take root 3 to the other side, root 3 into root 3 will give you 3. So let us solve it. 3H minus 75 is equal to H plus 25. So 2H will be equal to 100. Yeah. So H will be equal to 50. So our question was, we have to find out the value of, H. What is the height of the cloud above the sea level? That means we had to find CF. So we did it. 50 meter is the answer. This question was a little confusing if you are not thorough with the laws of reflection. So as you can see, people think that, okay, I will skip science subjects and I'll just focus on maths and I'll be able to get good marks. No, it's not true. If such a question comes, you have to use the laws of reflection also, isn't it? So make sure that you are studying each and everything nicely. Okay, hope this question is clear to you. So the diagram has to be made in such a way that the question becomes easy, because it's all about how correctly your diagram is made. After that, it's all algebra. That's all. Okay, hope this question is clear. Now let us move on to the last question for today. And tomorrow we are going to do some miscellaneous types of questions from trigonometry's heights and distances. We are going to do questions related to time. Okay, the same thing which we did today, but how time is related with it, we are going to see. And then our chapter will be over. Okay, let us finish off this question. So from a window 10 meter above the ground, from a window A 10 meter above the ground, that means BD, if we consider BD to be the ground, our A is at a height of 10 meter. Okay, the angle of elevation of the top C of a tower is x degree, as you can see. So C is the top of a tower and the angle of elevation of this tower from the window at point A, it is x degree. And you also have the value of tan x given to you. Also the angle of depression of the foot D of the tower is y degree. As you can see, D is the foot of the tower and the angle of depression is y degree. Or you can do one thing, from Y, if a person observes the window A, then his angle of elevation will be y degree. You can make it in that way also. So over here the diagram is already made for you, so you don't have to use any such procedure. But if the diagram was not given to you, you had to do it like that. Okay, the value of tan y is also given to you. Your question is you have to calculate the height of the tower in meters. Very easy question. We have just done it. Out there we had to make the diagram. Over here the diagram is already provided to us. So from the figure again it is clear that AB, let me name it as E. So ABDE is a rectangle. So AB, if it is 10, ED will also be equal to 10 meter, right? And AE, whatever the value of AE, that will be equal to BD. I hope this much you understood from whatever we have done today. Alright, then let us consider the triangle AED first, or you can also consider ABD. Let us consider triangle ABD. Triangle ABD. You have tan of y is equal to height is AB and base is BD. So the value of tan y is given to you as 1 by 4 is equal to AB is 10, BD is as it is. So BD is 40. BD is 40 meters. That means AE is also 40. Okay, I hope this much is clear. Now let us consider the triangle ACE. Triangle ACE, tan of x will be equal to CE by AE. So tan value, the value of tan x is given as 5 by 2. So 5 by 2 is equal to CE, you don't know, you have to find that. And the value of AE is 40. So if you cancel out, CE is 100. Okay, CE is 100. Now there is nothing that you have to do. You have to find the value CD. So CD will be equal to CE plus ED. That means 100 plus 10, which will give you 110. Okay, so this is the question and we have successfully solved it. It was a very easy question. So these type of very easy questions come from angle of depression. So I hope today's session was useful to you. You have learned a lot of new things. And if you have any doubts, please do write to us in the email provided in the description, or you can also provide your suggestions in the comment section when this video will get uploaded. We are going to meet tomorrow with some miscellaneous questions from this topic. And till then, keep studying. And whoever is giving their board examinations and whoever will give their board examinations next year, all the best to you guys. Keep studying nicely and thank you for listening patiently to me. Bye bye everybody.